And good evening. Tonight on Wagon's World, Pete Hegseth takes charge at the Pentagon. No more social experiments, just defense. Trump signs an executive order to reassess transgender military readiness. Combat effectiveness comes first. Shocking. The deep state takes a hit. Over a dozen of Dirty Jack Smith's team has been fired. Also, MSDNC guest goes on a racially charged rant against white Trump voters, while media hypocrisy is at its finest. A Chinese AI startup is hammering U.S. tech stocks today while America's regulators sleep. Selena Gomez sobs over Trump's immigration crackdown, but working-class Americans are cheering. Also, ICE conducts massive law enforcement raids with nearly 1,000 illegal immigrants being arrested in one day. Vice President J.D. Vance's team is backing Vivek Ramaswamy for Ohio governor. The populist movement is growing. And with that, let's get into it. Today, Pete Hegseth officially reported for duty at the Pentagon. And let's just say he's not wasting any time. On day one, he made it crystal clear that the mission of the U.S. military is to protect American sovereignty. Not social engineering, not endless foreign wars, not DEI seminars. But what's his first priority? Readiness and border defense. Imagine that. A Secretary of Defense actually concerned about defense. The shift is already causing panic among the usual suspects in D.C. But that's exactly why he was picked. Trump didn't bring in Pete Hegseth to make friends. He brought him in to fix a military that's been hijacked by leftist woke ideology. And speaking of the military, Trump is expected to sign an executive order, which is directing the Department of Defense to reevaluate the readiness of transgender service members. The left will scream discrimination, but let's be honest. If our military is supposed to be the most lethal fighting force on the planet, we can't afford lowered standards. Politicized policies or taxpayer-funded hormone treatments. The real question is, are we making personal decisions based on identity politics, or are we ensuring that our troops are combat ready? While Trump is focused on restoring order, the deep state just took a major hit. Today, the Justice Department has fired more than a dozen key officials from former special counsel Jack Smith's team. The same corrupt operatives who spent years trying to destroy Trump with endless investigations. Now that Trump is back, the swamp is being drained in real time. And you have to wonder, if these officials had done everything by the book, why are they being thrown overboard? Maybe because the book that they were following wasn't the US Constitution. It was a political hit job. Meanwhile, the media's credibility continues its downward spiral. Over at MSDNC, a guest decided that the best way to analyze Trump's popularity was to go on a racially charged tirade against white voters. This is the left in 2025. If they can't convince you with facts, they'll just insult you. They're not even pretending anymore. They genuinely believe that if you support Trump, it's not because of policy, security, or the economy. It's because of your skin color. This isn't just analysis. This isn't journalism. This is pure hatred disguised as political discourse. But what's the answer? Who knows? On the tech front, a Chinese AI startup called DeepSeek is making waves by creating cheaper, open sourced AI, which is a model that is hammering US tech stocks today. And while American companies are stuck navigating endless regulations and woke corporate policies, China is plowing ahead, funding AI advancements that could soon outpace us. The question is, how much of this technology is being funneled into China's surveillance state or even their military? We've seen this playbook before. Chinese companies steal American tech, undercut our markets, and then turn it around and use that same tech against us. And yet, the Biden era regulators were more concerned about stopping Elon Musk's Twitter, now X, takeover than dealing with China's AI race. Priorities. And in today's edition of Liberal Celebrity Meltdowns, Selena Gomez is sobbing over Trump's immigration crackdown, saying she wishes she could do something, but she just can't. Yes, she can. For example, she could stop living in a gated mansion while demanding open borders for everyone else. She could perhaps acknowledge that illegal immigration is devastating working class Americans, driving down wages and overloading public services. But no, she just cries on Instagram and expects people to take her seriously. I think not. Back in the real world, a multi agency task force just carried out massive enforcement raids in Texas and Chicago, cracking down on criminal networks exploiting weak border policies. This is what actual immigration reform looks like. Not sanctuary city policies, not celebrity pity parties, but law enforcement doing its job. And it's clearly making an impact. And just one day, ICE arrested 956 illegal migrants, proving that when laws on the books are actually enforced, results happen fast. For years, Americans were told mass deportations weren't possible. Well, it turns out that they are. You just need a president who's willing to do it. And finally, on the political front, Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign team is making moves in Ohio, steering J.D. Vance's top political advisors toward a potential gubernatorial run. This could set up a major power shift in Ohio politics, with Vance's populist pro-Trump movement extending its influence beyond the Senate. This could have a big effect. If this happens, expect absolute panic from the establishment GOP, because Ramaswamy and Vance mean America First policies that aren't just here to stay. They're gaining ground. So, what have we learned tonight? Hegseth is shaking up the Pentagon. Trump is cutting through the deep state. And the left is spiraling into TV racism and hysteria because they know that they're losing. Meanwhile, China's tech threat is growing, but America is stuck with incompetent congressional leaders who refuse to act. Hollywood elites cry for open borders while sitting behind gates, but real law enforcement is proving that mass deportations are possible and effective. And in Ohio, the populist movement is growing. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and the establishment knows it. We're here at Wagon's World, where the truth rides shotgun and the nonsense gets left in the dust. Stay sharp, stay free, and we will see you next time. Thank you.